Good evening. I'm just getting Elena on. Hello, thanks for joining.
Yay! Hello, hello. Very exciting.
So welcome to the first in our Creating Chaos series. We are here to create relaxation out of chaos. We are doing this over 6 weeks. They are 20-minute lives, and we are going to approach and explore some different subjects. So without further ado, this is week 1, and we're exploring creating chaos out of control. So what's chaos to you guys? Drop us comments. We want to make this interactive as well. So whatever comes up for you guys, please let us know in the comments. I'm having a look at that as well. So bear with us. So the definition of chaos is me for the past 30 seconds, I think. So chaos is complete disorder and confusion. How do people feel about that? How do you guys feel
Your current existence, love
it? Chaos. Yeah, do we not feel good about it? What do you think?
I'd love to approach this from a different perspective. I'm a bit of a word wizard, kind of a geek with the English language. And it really is a state in which you cannot control things. That's chaos. And if you look at it from a physics history with the use of the word, imagine electrons, neutrons, protons, atoms, blah, 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 all those things that go round and round and round and round and round and create this beautiful explosion that created the universe. So what I'm looking at sharing is, what if we took the chaos that is around us, which it exists, we're all stressed, there's some anxiety, there's good, there's bad, there's a lot going on, whatever that looks like. What if you just sat back and relaxed into the chaos? Because guess what? You cannot control it. Cannot control it. So Steph, what does relax mean? What do you have?
So for me, my personal definition of relax is just chilling out. And it might not be that spa day that I so crave and want and need, let's be honest. It could just be when you're in the madness, just chilling out a bit. And it's the worst thing to say to people is like, just chill out. But it's trying to think about chilling out when you're in that moment. So relaxation doesn't always look like cucumbers over my eyes. I could be in the middle of chaos and be relaxed. It's weird, but it's cool.
It is weird. And, relaxing is that idea to become less tense or anxious. And from experience, when someone tells me, hey, just relax, it's like, no, don't, how dare you say that to me? Like, I'll choose that. But there's this really interesting connection with the word relaxing, with being that it has to be this, I've got to carve it out and put it in my day, like a spa day, or I need to take a bubble bath. And there's this sense of it needs to be a reward because you've finished something or you've survived something. So what if, back to that chaos, what if in that moment you can just go, you know what? Shit's hitting the fan. All right, get the popcorn. Let's see what happens, because you can't control it. So if you can relax into it, it always turns out the way it's going to turn out. You cannot control it. So how cool would that be?
Yeah, that's one thing that I tell my clients. Sometimes, you go down this rabbit hole of chaos when you're trying to uncover stuff. And I just tell my clients, stop. Just stop. And yeah, that can sound really harsh sometimes. I know that it raised a few eyebrows when I last did it, but it's not just being, I'm not being an asshole by saying just stop. Just stop the thoughts. Try to stop the thoughts and try to stop letting yourself get consumed by it.
Mm-hmm.
Just come back to the present moment. Try and see where you are, be where you are, and just stop. And all of a sudden the chaos gets a bit more relaxed, strangely.
So how do you stop? Like, what is that? Because I would agree it's this art of being present in the moment. So how it's, and that's easy to say. How do you learn that? Because that's not what we've all grown up with.
No, no.
So how do you
Because you need to
stand
be
in the middle
going
of that chaos and go, all right, and get yourself present and stop? Like, be aware.
practice.
Practice what? What do you do?
Just stopping. I just stop in the middle of the M25. I just stop my car. No, I don't encourage anyone to just stop their car in the M25. I just try to, when I realize and I see what's triggering me, or see when I'm being triggered, and see when I'm going, oh my God, this isn't cool. That's when I think to myself, okay, just bring yourself back a moment. And as a mum, it's quite hard sometimes to get the 5 seconds of peace that you need to bring yourself back into the moment. So I go to the toilet, and I will just sit on the toilet for 2 seconds and just breathe.
Okay.
And recently, there is a radiator right next to my toilet. I found myself touching the radiator. I'm going to sound a little bit crazy now, and I'm making no apology for it. There's different textures on it. So some of it's smooth, some of it's a bit bumpy, and it's just taking your mind off of whatever that was and thinking about something else.
Yes.
And I know you've got a really good tool as well that you use, that kind of stops you and recenters you as well.
Yeah, there's because catching yourself in that moment is the key to this, and that's kind of the ask we're going to offer you as a tool to practice all week is what works for you to stop in that moment. Oftentimes when our heads going like this and we're in the chaos and we're stressed, our body responds to that. And the key here is to stop that. And our body is really the control, if we want to use the word control, is the way to control the mind spin. So if we can get into our bodies in that moment, that's how I do it, is I get present with my body. I go, okay, whoa, what's going on? All right, body. And I check in. I check in with all my body parts, like, okay, yep, head spinning, got it. Whoo, feeling a little toasty here. Okay. And my heart's racing, or, I'm clenching my fists, or my shoulders are up to my ears, whatever that is. And I say, okay, here's my 5 seconds. And I'll touch my fingers, or I'll wiggle my toes. If I have the ability to do so, stop, close my eyes, and just take the most deepest possible breath and let it out, not through my nose, but through my mouth, and just almost like push down through my diaphragm and just empty whatever that is out. Even that 10 seconds that you gift yourself is enough to be in the state of awareness. And then, this is my little helpful tip here, is ask yourself a question. It can be, what is this? It can be, what's going on here? Or can I fix this? How can I fix this? Or do I want to go get the popcorn and just watch it all unfurl? Whatever that is. If you can laugh about it too, I think that also helps. So if you can get to that awareness and do what works for you, there's no right way to do these, right?
I think laughter is a huge thing as well. It releases so much energy, and it creates so much energy at the same time, and it creates a completely different mood. I had an incident with my daughter over Christmas that involved poo, and my husband and I could not stop laughing, and it just made the situation so much lighter. Because I don't know about you, but when the chaos is happening and you're going into it, you start feeling heavy, you start feeling tense. I get a very sore neck because I'm obviously just like, laughing. I like a bit of TikTok therapy. I can scroll TikTok for a while and laugh at that. So yeah, it's definitely figuring out your way. I can see in the comments, Imogen has said that I get Jackson to stop and look at his feet when he's having a meltdown. I love that technique. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And helping children when they're having that chaos and getting sucked into it as well is incredible. So the fact that you're helping him at 3.5 years old, he's going to thank you for that.
I work a lot with children, especially teens, and when they're in that mind spin and they're down that rabbit hole and the chaos is overwhelming to them, it actually affects their ability to learn. And for them, because kids have the best sense of humor and are so amazing and magical, I use humor all the time for them. And it's okay, let's talk to whatever that chaos is. Let's almost not make fun of ourselves, but to the point where it's, let's talk to that voice in our head that is telling us that this is like, okay, so step one, okay, yeah, let's do it. And I say, okay, you got 10 seconds, go pitch the biggest fit you want to pitch. And I'll let you know when your 10 seconds is up. And oftentimes it takes more than 10 seconds. It could be 3 or 4 10-second increments, but in those increments, by the end, they're laughing just as hard as I'm laughing. And then we get to the point where we're like, yeah, okay, maybe that wasn't such a big deal after all. So bringing that humor into it, again, it's whatever brings you awareness in that moment so that you're not reacting, you're responding. That's the big difference, I think.
The word I keep hearing is awareness.
Yeah, awareness.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah. So anybody who's listening now and maybe even in the future, because we're going to post this on our YouTube channels, what is it that you could do as like sort of a tool that we would offer to our clients that we coach here is, what is that trigger for you where you can stop and you can go, okay, I'm going to be present and I'm going to be aware. And you can pick anything that we just talked about. You can also pick something that you do and share it with us. We would love to hear what it is you're doing, because this is all part of our journey as coaches. Is the more we learn, especially from people who are practicing something that works for them, that helps us understand more of what we can offer to others as well. So if you're feeling brave and want to share, go ahead. And I know a lot of you are following Steph, so DM her or do whatever it is you do on Instagram and let us know what it is so that we can play with those tools as well. It's all about sharing here and contributing to each other.
Come on then, people, drop us a comment. Lauren says she's still learning the thing that works. Fair play, but you're learning. And
yeah. That's awesome. If you're open to it, ask that question like, all right, this sucks right now. What can I do about it? And if you can't do anything about it, sit back and relax and just be like, you know what? All right, I cannot control this. Let's just see how it plays out. You just can't.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
And what's possible from doing that?
Yeah. And what's different that could happen that if you just let go of controlling it, that you never even considered could show up? Like maybe something amazing happens out of it. Like a quick story here for me, being in chaos the other night on New Year's Eve, I just moved into a new home and the smoke detector went off. And long story short, there was an alarm attached to the house that the previous owners forgot to cancel. But a whole bunch of hot firemen showed up at my door. Uh-oh.
The live video.
Did you end it?
Oh
no, did you end it, anybody? That's okay.
It just dropped out.
It just dropped out. No. Anyway, I said hot fireman and I blew up the whole, look at the chaos.
We will have to repeat that for those on Instagram.
I don't even know when it dropped off. Are you back on? I can't see it.
I have no idea what.
Those of you watching the Zoom recording of us trying to play with Instagram here, this is us getting out of our comfort zone and trying to do two things at once. Okay, here you go. Did I go there? I think I'm there. You keep dropping. Did it drop off again, hon? I don't see you. All right.
I don't know if you can see me on Instagram.
I can't see you on Instagram. You're not here. Oh, there you are. Okay. I joined.
You can't see me, can you?
I can see you.
On Instagram.
I can see you on Instagram. Well, you're fuzzy. I guess it's your Wi-Fi?
I've turned off Wi-Fi on my phone, so I'm not quite sure what that is.
That's
And
super
it says you're
interesting.
unable.
Well, I can tell you this. We've created enough chaos that the internet can't even handle us, or social media, or all of it. How cool is that?
What else is possible? I've accepted your invite to join.
Okay, let's see.
Oh,
Okay, maybe
okay,
people can see me or not Steph. That's awesome. So welcome to chaos. This is 100% chaos. Okay, I see notes. I don't know if you can see them. They can hear you. So I was telling my story about hot firemen, and this whole live feed blew up. So I kind of get the energy from people watching here. What's happening? But it is.
I mean,
just
I
that.
think I can see it's mostly women. So I think the fireman stuff was just too much hotness for us.
All right.
Okay.
I think we wanted to just come back and at least say thank you to those people who were watching. And
I mean, did Instagram hear the fireman story?
I don't know. If not, I guess I'll have to watch the YouTube replay. Long story short, I didn't set my new house on fire, but I had firemen showing up at my house on New Year's Eve. And in the midst of the alarm going off, my dog freaking out, dinner, trying not to burn dinner further than I already had, and multiple other things happening at the same time, these hot firemen came up my driveway and wanted to make sure I was okay. And to me, in that moment, I could freak out. I could be horrified, embarrassed, stressed. Oh my God, everything. Whoa, what's going on? Or I can laugh and be like, yep, I got some hot firemen at my house on New Year's Eve. How about you? So it's really about that moment to stop. And I love the laughter.
Yeah.
And I love the way to find humor. And I also just really like taking that minute, like, all right, what can I do about this here? So
yeah, what can I do about this?
Yeah.
And like you say, getting out of the control of it is life changing.
So relax into the chaos. That's the message. And maybe this week, play with whatever it is that gets you to that awareness where you can stop the mind spinning and get into a place of checking in with your body and just love yourself for 10 seconds, whatever it is. Wiggle your toes, take a deep breath, go hide in the bathroom, whatever you need.
That's amazing. Well, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. We appreciate you showing up.
Thank you.
This chaos will be available on our YouTube channels. So we will share the link to that so you can watch it back or share it with friends who you think could do with a bit of a laugh and who likes a bit of chaos. So yeah, we will be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Hopefully you'll be able to see me. And yeah, we will hopefully see you then. Next week, we are going to be out of limitations with money.
Yes.
We're going to get out of control with
money. Next week, chaos with money. How much fun can we have? So practice being aware this week so that next week you can be really aware of your money, and we'll show you how to have some chaos.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Well.